Well, Darren, from what you were saying on Tuesday to Ben, I think you feel there's a sense not only clearly if you got some momentum on the pitch now, but you were really heartened by a sense of momentum really around the whole club off the field as well.
Yeah, I think we're in a good place at the moment. We've got good momentum with the results. Like I said previously, I feel the break did us some good, just re-energized us really. And listen, the wins are obviously the most important thing, but the way the players are training every day, and not just the ones that have been playing on a regular basis, but the other ones, because it can be difficult for them. Their performances in training and their standards have been very good.
Clearly, and you spoke about it the other day, one of the big differences is the way in which your front three of Sariki, of Sammy and Johnson, the way that they're really working now as a unit. Was that part of the benefit of having the month off? Were you able to get on the training ground, or is it just a case of as time has gone on, it's just naturally started to click?
No, I just think it's taken a bit longer than what we'd hoped. I think the intensity has improved between all three of them, certainly on a consistent basis anyway, and I think that's been the most important thing. And we're seeing sort of combinations there, which is good. You know, if you look at the goals from the previous two games, the second goal against Milton Keynes, both goals actually, Sariki set up Sammy. The two goals on Tuesday, Jono set up Sammy. So I've been really pleased with the three of them. I think they're a real handful when they're at it. I think obviously with Sammy, it looks like it was just a confidence thing, and that was always going to come back when he started scoring, and his performances have been a lot better. Sariki's intensity has gone way up, which has been really pleasing. And Jono, to be fair, has been very consistent with his goals throughout the season. So, as I've said before, with those three, when you get them clicking, and maybe added to that is that Ricky's back as well, and we've got Ricky and Mo on the bench, and between the five of them, you've got some very good players there.
To be fair to Johnson, to come into a new club and to have had the level of consistency that he's had right the way through what everyone has acknowledged has been a tricky season for all clubs. He's done really well, hasn't he, to switch sides and just come straight in and deliver those performances week in, week out.
I think he has done very well. He's scored goals. You see him for the last 30 minutes on Tuesday. He just occupies two players. Their centre-halves couldn't deal with him. He was outstanding in the last half an hour. He gets you up the pitch. He needs to work and improve on when he's looking after the ball, because it's important he does that better. He knows that. We're continuing working with him on that. But I think he should be delighted with how he's settled in, and with more than half of the season still to go, he's on target for having a very good season goals-wise. But I've been delighted with him. I mean, he's a proper bloke, and he takes a lot of punishment, but he's brave. I mean, you see that goal, the first one against Charlton. A lot of strikers, they're not getting involved in that.
Are you still keeping all options open, all the plans in place for Sariki and his transfer situation?
Yeah, it's not changed, Peter, at all, and it won't. There'll be a certain amount of money that the owners will want, the chairman will want. There's not much money in football at the moment, especially in this month. I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think in the summer, yes. I agree with the chairman in the sense that I think it'd probably be better off for the boy if he performs as he is. He'll have probably more options in the summer, because at the moment there's not much money about. And listen, with a player and a talent like he is, we'll want a considerable amount of money, I would imagine, for him.
Looking at the other end of the team, of course, we've spoken a lot about what's happened at the front end, but Nathan Thompson in the centre of the back three, a little bit of a tweak just before Christmas, and one that's worked really well for you. He seems to really like it there, and it's just added an extra dimension to the play.
Yeah, Nathan did that when he was at Swindon, and they played three at the back. He played in the central position, and I remember playing against him actually when I was at Peterborough, and he gave us real problems. He takes the ball well. He didn't do it as well as we'd hoped, or have the opportunities to do it as much as we'd hoped on Tuesday. I think maybe the pitch and the way Charlton set up stopped him getting it. They allowed Frankie to have it, which is fine. What I think's really helped and what has made it work is Beeves. Beeves has done ever so well on the left. And when we went to a back four for half an hour on Tuesday, him and Frankie were outstanding. The pair of them were absolutely outstanding. Proper centre halves, won all the headers. They were really, really, really impressive. So Beeves has done great on the left, you know, and I've been delighted with him. And Tomo has done really well in the middle, and Frankie's just been consistent throughout. You know, they need to continue getting the performance out of them. And on top of that, we've had Fraser that's played there. Niall Mason, again, comes in against Milton Keynes. He was very, very good. So we've got good options there at the back as well. And I think also for the three defenders there, I mentioned Beeves, Tomo and Frankie. I think it's good when Niall comes in and does what he did. That was a really tough decision on Tuesday. I explained to Niall the reason why, and he understood it, to be fair to the boy.
Yeah, and as we've said so many times before, it's great when you have the opportunity, as you did against Charlton, where you want to change things around and you can do it so easily with the players on the pitch. You made a couple of substitutions, but having that flexibility just makes the world a difference. Yeah,
we spoke to the players about it at half-time, and obviously, if it had been with not making any substitutions, it would have just been Idris instead of Age. But I just felt the game was ready, was right for Harrison, given the way the game was going. You know, I know a lot of people look at him and think he's very slight, but he's strong. You know, in terms of he's determined, and I think you've seen that on Tuesday. He's a determined boy, you know, and he always tries his hardest, and he's obviously got better as the season's gone on. And since he's come into the squad and been playing involved on a regular basis, we've really picked up. The boy's done great. I thought he was excellent against Charlton on Tuesday.
In terms of availability for this weekend, is it just Joe Ward will be missing?
Touch wood, yeah. It's just Joe. Everyone else trained today. It was a normal stuff, warm down and recovery for the boys that played Tuesday. Obviously, we've got to be careful with how much we do with them. And then the other 14 players trained and were very good. So, you know, I've got very good options to freshen things up on Saturday because there's a lot of games coming up.
Yeah, and Ipswich away, clearly one of the highlights from last season. Of course, it will be different this time around in an empty stadium, but Portman Road always a nice place to go.
Yeah, really nice, really good football club. Good stadium, pitch is good. Very good team, you know, experienced manager. They've added 2 good players this week in Thomas and Harrop. So that might make a difference to them. They've got some of their better players back that probably wouldn't have been available when we were due to play them at home. I mean, when the game was cancelled. You know, Edwards is back, very good player. We know all about him. Bishop's back. So, yeah, listen, anytime you play Ipswich away from home, it's a tough game. Saturday's going to be no different. We go into it in a good place, but we can't let our standards slip. We need to really put the foot down now, and we've got to make sure that we keep having the determination and the toughness mentally and the intensity that we've been showing in the last few games. And also, I'll keep reminding the players that, you know, I've got 5 subs that can come on at any time and give us your lot for as long as you can.
Yeah, and it just comes back to the point you were making the other day, where with the games coming at such a rate and given the shape of the League One table, even more than ever, just focusing on yourself and meeting those targets and standards in terms of what you've just described.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. I said to the players, I reminded them today, we need to keep our standards every day in training. We need to keep the performances. You know, the feeling you had on Tuesday night in the dressing room after the game was a really good one. Don't lose it. You know, can we keep recreating that? That's important. So these are all the messages I'm getting into the players, and you're absolutely right. And I'm very much like that anyway. We can only control what's in front of us, and ourselves. We know that when we're at it, we're a hard team to play against. That's a fact. But one thing we need to now do to elevate us to the next bit is we need to start winning away from home again, starting on Saturday, hopefully.